What's up, y'all? It's Kenny here, and I'm pretty excited to be joined with my next guest at this time. He is an MC, originally from Detroit, but he resides currently at Lexington. Um, he's keeping himself busy in these trying times, and to take this
hmm
time to join me, he goes by the name of WIP. WIP stands for Work in Progress. That's what he is on the microphone and in real life. He's joining me right now. What's
Yeah.
good, man?
What's good? What's good, my brother? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, man. Pretty awesome to have you on and taking this time. So I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
So before we go any further, let's just dive in. Let's just get right to it. Um, so you've been able to get some shows in and release some
hmm
music with this whole pandemic and everything. But I want to talk
Yeah.
about the performance side first. So
hmm
we seen each other a couple months back. This
Yeah.
past August, Nappy Roots
hmm
performed at Louisville on I think it was
Yeah.
a Friday or Saturday. Probably it was a Saturday, and they
Uh-huh.
perform at Lexington, where you and
Yeah.
I currently reside, in Manchester Music
Yes,
Hall.
sir.
So that was my first time seeing you since the show you had at the Borough years back with you and with Mill
Oh,
and a
yeah.
couple of other local hip hop cats that was doing their thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah, absolutely. So go back to that particular weekend. How did it feel just getting to perform again, let alone getting to open for them country boys? How did it feel?
Man, that honestly, that was a dope show. Meeting Nappy Roots, it's funny because right when they came in, it had been so long since I seen them like on stage or like in videos, so I couldn't remember everybody's faces, and so a couple of them had came in and spoke. And I like, you know how like you see somebody in passing, you don't really know who it is. You're like, hey, what up? And you just kind of keep going back to your conversation. And they
Yeah.
walked past, and then another cat that I noticed from that news came in. And I was like, oh, snap, it's not usual. I'm all fan crazy. And then the other two cats come in there that was with the group, and I was like, oh, snap. That, oh, my bad. I'm like, yo, I didn't, I was like, I was just so, I'm in the zone, before a show, I kind of like zone out, man. I don't know what I tap into, but I'm not there. You know what I mean? So I just try to get into a whole nother mind state. So I don't mess up. I don't want to mess no words up. I want to make sure I give a good performance. So I was kind of in that zone when they walked in. So, but when the group members all got together, I went off saying crazy. Was like, yo, my bad. I thought that I didn't notice y'all. It was been so long. It was like, oh, real humble cats, man. That show was great, man. I really, really, uh, a lot of times when you meet people in the industry, they're not as warm as you may be, as an up and coming artist. You like, hey, to everybody, hey, what up, what up? Speaking to everybody, networking, talking, and they were the same way. Like, yo, what up? They came and they kicked it with us on our side of the green room and everything, man. Real cool cats, man. That show, both shows, the show in Lexington and the show in Louisville were both dope. You know what I'm saying? My man Romez with two L's brought me out on a joint that we got together called Turf Wars. And we performed that joint together, man. And we got a pretty good response too.
Yeah, what I admire about Nabby Roots is they don't forget where they come from.
hmm
They travel throughout the years, and every now and then
hmm
they'll slide on to Kentucky and get a couple of shows in and let it be known that hey
hmm
man, without this state, without this support, we won't be here. We won't be getting
Yep.
the props, getting the
hmm
mainstream success.
Yep.
And Kentucky, not necessarily known for mainstream success. Now, of course,
Mhm.
prior to Jack Harlow, obviously, and Bryson Tiller, obviously it's mostly
Right.
country music side. But as far as hip hop,
Mhm.
Nappy Roots definitely break through and just
Mhm.
and they independent, man. They done it all independently. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the fact that they do the music the way that they want to without getting the ear from the A&Rs and the major labels and executives and whatnot, that's just telling how authentic they are, not just as artists but as people. So
Mhm.
they got the hits and everything, they got the success, but they still good people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they,
Yeah.
they come back to Kentucky like they always do, and they
Mhm.
greet you with open arms and whatnot. It don't matter if you supported them back then or you supported them now. They gonna
Right.
always appreciate what Kentucky meant to them as musicians and people at the end of the day. So that was a great
Mhm.
weekend just for Kentucky hip hop in particular, and seeing guys
Yeah.
like you with Mill and Divine Karama, two guys from
Mhm.
Lexington.
Mhm.
I'm just bragging because I'm a Lexington guy. So
Yeah.
that's a big deal. So that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to Nappy Roots, man, for just being authentic still after all these years. Shout out to
Most
them.
def. Most def.
Um, so you did that back in August. This
Uh
past
huh.
weekend, you open
Mhm.
for a fellow Lexingtonian, if you will.
Mhm.
The one and
Yeah.
only Anonymous Rose. She's going on tour. She's traveling in
Mhm.
different areas. And she was at
Yeah.
Louisville this past weekend, and you was one of the opening acts for that particular show. Um,
Mhm.
Definitely a different vibe because she's an R&B artist, obviously. But what was it like getting a chance to open for Anonymous?
You know what, man? I did not know how talented she was till I saw her perform in person. You know, everybody in the studio, you can manipulate with good engineering and everything. You can make an artist sound really good. But her stage performance and presence, bro, I was kind of blown away. Like man, I was really like blown away. I was not ready for how great a performer that she was. Now I know my man 13.5, he got a really good ear for talent. So I knew she wouldn't be a slouch. You know what I mean? But I was like really blown away at her performance stuff. You know, and I was glad that he even hit me up to, to add me to the tour, the Louisville leg of the tour. Because they've been moving around. They've been all over the place. They just left from Detroit, from my hometown, and just did a show up there. Now, I checked them out on social media and saw some pictures and everything. But yeah, man, that show was fun down there in Louisville. Man, we did pretty good. We had a good time down there. But yeah, her show, stage performance, presence, and the songs, like all that, man. Now she got the package. She the whole total package. I was really impressed.
I got to see Anonymous perform numerous times throughout the years. And she is the real deal. Um,
Yeah.
she she got the voice, she's got the presence, she got the
Mhm.
vibe, she's got all of that, and people really wife for her. So just
Mhm.
seeing how far she's come since then, and now got a Lexington R&B artist
Yeah.
doing her own tour independently and whatnot.
Man.
Just
Yeah.
that speaks volumes to her team and for her.
Mhm.
Just that's awesome, and I know she's gonna be at Lexington within the next week or two. I don't have the dates in front
Mhm.
of me, but she'll be at Lexington to end the show. It's only fitting. It's her hometown for crying out loud.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
she
I'm
doing
definitely
it.
gonna pull up.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So you definitely been busy performing. You also been busy with the music as well. You got a track out,
Yeah.
Make It Happen, featuring Ramil
Yeah.
and Jans, that kind of set
Mhm.
the tone for the Natives Volume 1 album. Uh, so just talk
Mhm.
about, obviously, you and Ramil, y'all labor mates, y'all family,
Yeah.
obviously. Jans,
Oh
he's
yeah.
definitely well respected as a producer and an artist, doing his thing,
Yeah.
being very active on the Kentucky hip
Mhm.
hop scene. But what was it
Yeah.
like just having all three of you on the same track?
Honored, honored, yo. Cause to me, they're like the dopest underground artists coming out of Louisville right now. Like Jans is already like superstar level to me. It's just once the right person hear him, he on his way. Same thing with Els too, man. With Romeo with two L's. That's my brother. You know, we've been doing music. Shoot, I looked up. It's been almost close to 10 years. I think me and this cat been rocking. Like it's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And we always do music together. And it was just, man, just it's been real. We did this song about. Now we did this song. This song is actually a couple years old, and we kind of like, I don't know what happened. We sat on it, and then we sat on it for so long. It was like, all right, that might be one of those ones that get tossed to the back burner. But I was going through songs recently, and I pulled that one up. You know, old track that we had just been doing that was kind of on the shelf, and I put up, and I said, yo, I forgot all about this track, like how dope it is. So I hit Ears and was like, yo, man, we need to go and drop this one, bro. Like we sat on this and it's ready to go now. So we went, we talked about it, listened to it. I hit Jans up, so hey man, I want to go and drop this track now, man. I think it's time. And it's kind of like perfect timing for where I'm at. You know, right now I'm kind of really starting to find me a groove with this rap thing and what I want to do musically, not just, outside of rap and all things I want to tap into. So Make It Happen is kind of like my little mantra right now, like my little motivational piece. You know, I got to make this happen. So that, I thought it was just perfect timing to drop that joint right, when we did it.
Definitely live up to the track name, indeed. Make it happen. That's what you wanted to do. You felt
Mm-hmm.
like this was it. This is the time to put this song
Yeah.
out, and it came out really, really good. As a matter of fact,
Thank you.
um, I have it on my Spotify playlist. I do
Nice.
Music Monday tweets every Monday. Like I just be
Mm-hmm.
randomly hand picking songs, mainstream and local and independent. And I
Wow.
think it was a couple weeks ago when I tagged you
Yeah.
and with Bill and Youngs.
Yep.
Like this was my local song of the week. WIP first
Yeah.
featuring Wamil and Jans Make It Happen. So um,
Yeah.
I've always admired Jans for his contributions and and wordsmith and a beat extraordinaire. Like he's
Man.
got he's Dr. Dre esque to me as far as
Yeah. He's a
producer.
mad scientist in the lab,
Yeah,
yo. Like
scientist.
sitting
Yeah,
with him when we worked with him, he makes the beat from scratch. Every piece of the beat he puts together and orchestrates right there on the spot. Oh my God. It's like watching a mad scientist at work. I love it. Like he's one of my personal favorites, and I'm like, that's why it was like perfect to have him and Romeo on the track, because like these are two people that I kind of, when you talk about like, yo, who's the people you rock with, like who you vibing with down there, and I'm like, these two cats are the ones that kind of stick out the most to me as far as how they move and their level of talent with this, you
yeah.
know. So yeah, man, it's always a pleasure anytime I get with Jans and catch Jans. That's good people. That's home to me.
Check out the track "Make It Happen" by WIP, featuring Wimeo and Jans, available on all the platforms. So that's some real hip hop for you. Um,
Yeah,
so go get that a stream, go get that a purchase as well. You contribute to the Natives Volume 1 album. you are on a track with Furious Floyd on a song called Backwash. I chatted with Floyd, Fiji, and Q Mystic
Mm-hmm.
a couple of weeks ago. We talked about the album, and they all expressed their excitement, just all these artists getting together and just
Mm-hmm.
shining, get their shine on
Yeah.
this project. What was it like just being involved in this project, and what was it like to collaborate with Floyd for the Backwash joint?
Man, so like the process to making this compilation album was dope. Like we was all meeting up and not really knowing the track or who was on it in particular until we got there. So it made the chemistry click right away. And like a lot of times when you hear the music before you record it, you get kind of like drowned out in it. Sometimes you second time you hear like, oh, that's whack. So like energy was always there when we was meeting up for these sessions. And because I'm on 3 songs actually on the album. I got a verse on 3 tracks. And it's the intro song that I'm on, and then I'm on Royale with Cheese, and then the joint I got with Furious Floyd, Backwash. That came together because I was telling Ev like, yo, I want to get on some more upbeat, up tempo, kind of stuff. He was like, oh man, I got something for you. I got something for you. And so he called me over, and he was like, yo, this joint gonna be you and Floyd. And he played the beat off. Me and Floyd instantly went ham to start writing because we were sitting there kind of formulating like, yo, I was hearing one of the Jay Z hook like, yo, and we got to put something like it's got to be something that everybody could be a cadence that everybody could feel and remember. So that's how we came up with the cadence for the hook for it. I was like, yeah, and the joint just came together pretty much easily. Floyd is like a wordsmith. He's one of the nicest cats that's on our camp. You know what I'm saying? It's good that he on the team. I tell you that much. Floyd is super nice. You know what I'm saying? And me and him haven't collaborated yet, so it was like perfect time for me and him to get on the joint like that. It kind of the blend of our styles because we, kind of 2 different styles, and it to me it sounds great on that track. They were right on time when they came with that collaboration, especially for me because Floyd's got the energy, and I like energy, and I'm a kind of I got a lot of energy when I perform and when we do stuff, so it worked out pretty good on that joint. And I've been getting a lot of critiques on it, like a lot of good feedback on it too.
Awesome, man. So you're on the intro, you're on the Backwash joint, and you're also on the Royale with Cheese, which is kind of like
Yeah.
a battle royal type of joint. And one
Mhm.
of my favorite Louisville artists, and Peter Wesley. He's on there as the ring
Yeah.
announcer slash
Yeah.
commentator. And I've heard the story about this track. That I guess the announcer part was meant for somebody else, but then there was
Mhm.
like get Peter on there, and he's a wrestling fan. He's into that,
Yep.
and and when Peter was approached about it, he was all in. So he
Yeah.
definitely um, got very excited for this track, and it came out real nice, and everybody brought
Yeah.
their A game on that joint. And Peter did mention by the end of the track that Volume 2 is on the way. So that kind of
Oh yeah.
left us like, ooh, okay, left
Yeah.
us
That
like,
sounds.
yeah, wanting more. So yeah, it's Volume 2 is coming. I mean, Peter says it, and I'm gonna take him for his word. And everyone else has
Yeah.
confirmed that Volume 2 is happening. So be on the
Yeah. It's
lookout for
definitely
that.
happening.
So in addition to that, so what's next for WIP? As far as your music, as far as maybe more shows on the horizon, what you got on store
Yeah.
by the year's end, or you have in store for 2022? What's next for work in progress?
Yeah, so by next year I'm gonna be back up and running as far as like doing more shows and everything. Right now I'm kind of like in the hideout trying to make some music I got a new joint called Free Doom that's gonna be coming out soon. That's the one I just done. So I'm gonna drop that one next. I'm gonna try to get a video for that and kind of move on that one and start working on this EP. And then I'm working also with Obvious Bane on the collaboration project. So me and him, we in the lab getting busy too. And I just started my little entertainment company, All the Extras Entertainment. So I'm gonna start bringing some things out to light next year. I just needed to kind of get my bearings and work out all the schematics before I come out here. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, just sitting on the back burner, working on some music, doing some new sounds. I wanted to do some new stuff, next year. So I'll be starting off pretty fresh at the top of the new year.
Also, man, so check out The Natives Volume 1. It's available on all the platforms, and you can buy it through them on their website at bkr8v.com. And you can buy that album through there, and they would really appreciate that. This is an independent
Yes, yes, yes.
label that's put a lot of work, a lot of money into making this project happen, and buying it through the
Mm-hmm.
website will be a huge help to them. So go
Yes.
buy that. Go stream the Make It Happen joint as well from WIP and Ramil and Jans. And Ramil just
Yes,
recently
sir.
released a new track today. Go stream that too. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be 2022. It's in for a big year for creative natives. So stay tuned for
Oh yeah.
that. You can check out WIP on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
WIP. So go check that out, man. It's great to have you back on the
Yeah, man.
show, given the
Appreciate you,
circumstances
brother.
and whatnot. But thank you, man. Great hearing from you,
Thanks,
and
man. Thank you for having me.
yeah, and we'll see each other again down the road, and so stay tuned for that. So again,
Oh yeah.
man, appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me, my brother. Good speaking with you, and I'm gonna see you soon.
Yes, sir. That will conclude the interview, and enjoy the holidays, y'all.